Greetings everyone, this is Force Nature coming to you with an update. I'll just let you know, this was a very tournament heavy weekend for Dead or Alive 6. Alright, in Australia there was a Couch Warriors tournament won by Babel. On the East Coast, US and Atlanta, there was a final round tournament won by the very impressive Crazy Steady. And even myself, I ended up participating in a DOA 6 tournament of my own called the Canadian East Championship, abbreviated as CEC, where I ended up earning myself second place, which is pretty impressive in itself. Although I will admit, though, the actual circumstances of it might end up being mildly disappointing. Because the person that knocked me into losers was also the one who ended up winning the tournament. But every single set went 3-2. And then the grand finals, 3-2. I ended up resetting my opponent. And then in the final set, I ended up losing 3-2. And every time, last round, last round, last round. So it went right to the end. So it was a pretty grueling set. But still, I mean, second place at a regional is still quite impressive, so I'm not too disappointed with that. I just want you guys to know that there's just something just really exhilarating about playing DOA 6 or just other fighting games offline. Like it's just this kind of atmosphere and experience that you just can't get just from playing just online. All right. I'm not saying don't play online or anything like that, but I'm just saying that if you have any opportunity whatsoever to play DOA 6 offline, whether with other people or to be able to go to any events whatsoever, meetups, anything, I highly recommend doing it because it's an experience I tell you that you won't regret. I know it can feel a little intimidating at first, but it's just I just say it's the best way to learn because you just learn. It's just the kind of things you learn from playing other passionate players offline. It's just something I think it just doesn't truly compare to like online play. Here, I'll give you some tips if you are either planning to transition from like online play to maybe going into any sort of like potential offline sessions or events, or just some tips just to help you with your DOA training in general. One thing I'll let you know that don't think of other players as your enemies or basically just as some sort of entity that has to be destroyed. I mean, yes, winning is nice and all, but really, the objective of like DOA or just fighting games in general is to better yourself and to just basically just represent your game. Basically, just show how cool like DOA can be, and basically just end up getting other people excited to be in the game. So yeah, so don't focus so much on having to like that you have to destroy that guy or anything like that, because really though, especially like when you do go to an offline event, the people you meet there, again, they're not your enemies. They're potential friends. They're potential they're acquaintances, potential like further people for you to want to play with. So it's good to think of things that way. When you're trading DOA, I'll say that it is perfectly fine to just keep things simple and just kind of focus on, like, I guess, like what kind of works for you. The one thing that I don't want you to do when you're training for DOA 6 or anything is overcomplicating things or just making yourself feel overwhelmed. Because I'll just say now that keeping things simple is a good policy to go by, because during high pressure situation or during more kind of intense or meaningful matches, you don't want to be like kind of screwing stuff up. Like I know I'm probably scaring you right now, but basically just keep in mind just keeping things simple. With DOA 6, that can be just simply keeping the triangle system in mind. Strikes beat throws, throws beat holds, holds beat strikes. So I mean, so just keeping the triangle system in mind is always good. And another thing also for tips is keep your character's track and moves in mind. So every time you're practicing the training mode, keep the skill info move details box on and pay attention to the different attributes of moves. Remember, it is perfectly fine to use the same combos or techniques if it's working. Like I say, I'm going to keep reiterating, just keep things simple until you feel comfortable. Once you feel comfortable and you can do the simple stuff without thinking about it, it's just muscle memory, then you can start to move on to something that's more like complex or intricate. So what you do is you just keep adding on in your terms of your journey. I will give a tip now also for lower level players. I will let you know now, like, don't just stay completely on the buttons. I mean, if it's working, that's okay. But I'll just let you know, if you run into an opponent with good defense, they will destroy you. If you do something unsafe on block, then you have to end up taking defensive action. Because one thing I see from lower level players is that there are some players that just keep pressing buttons, but they forget that there's like a block button or something like that. All right, guys, that's it for now. I hope this has been a little insightful for you and has maybe slightly encouraged you to maybe want to try DOA 6 offline if you get any sort of opportunity. All right, well, I'll also let you know that more character guides and tutorials will be on the way, so just be on the lookout for that. Anyways, this is Force Nature sign off. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Top Tier Tips.